good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm back for my 6th week here on Jamaicans.com. I want to welcome you all. So obviously it's 8 p.m. and you're probably wondering what I'm doing here at 8 p.m. Well, we changed the time because Jamaicans.com was having a Jamaican diaspora conversation, which was really awesome. And that went on at 6 p.m. this afternoon, and so that's why I'm here a little bit later. So I hope you all will be able to come on and hang with me for a quick half an hour. I'm not going to be on here long this evening with you. We are going to be talking about weight loss this evening, so I'll be giving you guys some tips. I'm actually going to split it up and do things a little bit this week and a little bit next week. All right, so we're going to cover some things this evening, and then we're going to cover some things next week. All right, so let me just do my usual spiel. My name is Deborah. Well, before I do that, let me first say a huge thank you to Jamaicans.com for having me on this platform. Very happy to be here with you guys as always. And so this evening, like I said before, we're going to be talking about weight loss. So a little bit about me. My name is Deborah. I am a nutritionist. I hold a master's degree in nutrition. I also am an educator, so I teach nutrition education to middle schoolers, as well as I'm a community health nutritionist here in the Bronx, which is where I am from. As you are coming on, I do want to know where you're from. I'm curious to see where you're calling in from. Did you Jamaica? Where you there? Barbados? Are you in the Caribbean? Are you in London? Where you there? Let me know where you are. All right. So yeah, guys, so this evening, like I said, it's all about weight loss. And before we get into that, I have a question that I would like to ask all of you. And the question is, since we're going to be talking about weight loss, I'm curious to see if anybody here is dieting. Is anybody right now on a diet? So I'm going to say hello to a few of you while you're coming in. And also remember to let me know, the question of this evening is, are you on a diet? So this is going to be more of a conversational piece this evening. I'm hoping to have a little bit more interaction with you, so that next week when I come on, I'll know exactly what for us to address together. All right, so please share with me if you're on a diet, and also let me know what diet you're on. All right, so if you are on a diet, let me know, and let me know what diet you're on. So let me just say hi to some people. Hello, Carrick. If I say your name wrong in advance, my apologies. All right, so Twani, I think I'm saying that right. Yvonne, welcome back, Miss Yvonne Smith. I've seen you here before. Jean, Juliet, good evening. Seymour from Miami. And Twani said from London, very nice. Jean from North Carolina, good to have you. Carolyn, welcome, that's awesome to have you. Juliet from Chester. Jean said that I think you're saying you're on a diet, and Juliet also on a diet. And Corinne, good to have you guys. All right, so let's get right into what we're going to be discussing this evening, which is diet. And I said before, the topic at hand. So before we do that, I found a photograph online, and I was reading an article. Oh, how was everybody's weekend? Did you guys watch the Leo Gilling show this past weekend? So I was on the Leo Gilling show, and if you haven't seen the one that aired on Saturday, you got to go check it out. We were talking about food. It was amazing. It was so much fun. Please go check it out. We had some great conversations. Go look at it if you haven't. All right, so I love that you guys are coming in. Please answer the question. Okay, keto, somebody's saying that Sabrina is saying she's on the keto lifestyle. Okay, someone said not on a diet, just here to listen. Okay, Seymour, that's good, no problem. So yeah, curious to see what you guys, if you're here to tune in to see if you want to learn more about the different diets. So I want to know if you're on one. All right, so another question I want to ask is, are Jamaicans more tolerant? And then I'll show you guys what I have here. Are Jamaicans, and I'll say Caribbean people too, but specifically Jamaicans, are we more tolerant with, let's say, being overweight? And that's a question I would like for you guys to answer. So I have about 60 something of you guys in here, 66 to be exact, in here this evening rather. Let me know if you think that Jamaicans are more tolerant with someone being overweight. So please share your feedback, guys. There's a lot of you in here. I want to know what you're thinking. Sotoko, welcome. I just watch what I eat, Yvonne says. Hi, Cape Cod, not a diet, lifestyle change, awesome. Yes, more tolerant. Okay, so Carolyn said that we're more tolerant. Okay, Seymour also says yes. Hi, Grace, nice to have you. Miss Purpose. The men are. Okay, very good. So we're saying that the men are more tolerant. Okay, the women are not. Okay, that's good. So that's Seymour. Anybody else have anything else they want to share about that? So the question, guys, is, are Jamaicans and also Caribbean people more tolerant of having a little bit more weight? So yes. O'Neill is just laughing. Why are you laughing, O'Neill? Is that a funny question? It's an interesting question, right? It's something to think about. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to share with you guys. So I was reading, what was the first question? The first question was, how many of you are on a diet, right? So I wanted to know how many of you are on a diet and what kind of diet you were on. And then also the other question was, are we as Jamaicans more tolerant with a little extra weight, right? So that's the question. So Paulette just said yes. Juliette said Jamaicans are more tolerant, right? Okay. All right. So that's one of the things we were talking about over the weekend on Leo Gilling's show. We were talking about weight, and something came up, and I wanted to bring it up this evening. I wanted us to kind of have a go at it. So hello, Ricardo. Good to have you on. So I found this. I was reading the Jamaican Observer, and I found this photograph, and I said I want to share it with you guys. All right. So I'm going to put it up and then have a read, and then let me know your thoughts about this. All right. So I'm going to try to put it up here. I hope you all can see it. So this was found in the Jamaican Observer. Okay. Can you see that? Okay, I think we can all see that, right? And then look at the lady on the other side. All right. So I hope you guys have had a good look at that. Hi, Miss Marsha Turner. Good to have you. Susan. O'Neill, I don't know why you're laughing. So yeah, guys, so this was basically in an article written basically speaking about the tolerance level of Jamaican men, and someone said it earlier, I don't remember who it was, said it earlier, that we are more tolerant. Most of you said that most people are tolerant. Some people said that the men are more tolerant, right? The women are not, right? And so this is something that I want us to think about, because that's playing a role in whether or not we keep the weight on, or if we want to take the weight off, right? So that's something that I want us to think about, right? That's definitely a part of this whole equation. So as we talk about weight loss, I don't want us just to think about, you know, eating less food, because it's not just about eating less food, right? And exercising, because those are the two things we hear. Let's eat less food or change the foods we're eating, and then exercise. It's not just about those two things. There's a lot of other factors that go into why we have some extra pounds. And then another topic I wanted us to kind of touch on just a little bit is this whole fat shaming, right? And I use that word loosely, because when you think of someone who has some extra weight, the proper terminology that we should all use is overweight. All right, even the terminology obese can be offensive to some people, even though that is a terminology that is being used, right? That's like a scientific terminology that we not even necessarily scientific, but this is like the standard terminology that we would use. But at the same time, guys, we have to think about, are we offending someone when we call them these names? Listen, when I was a little girl, I used to be called names for being too maga, right? That's what they call me, maga, even though it's really thin, right? So there's two spectrums. There's being too thin, where you're underweight, in which case you still have issues, right? And then you have folks who are overweight or obese, and those folks also have some concerns and need to work on it. So both people need to work on it. So if you're underweight, right, or you're overweight, you still need to do some work in either direction. So I'm gonna say some names of some of the names that people use, and if you're using these words, you need to be careful, okay? So we want to make sure that we're not offending anyone. We want to make sure that we're not causing anyone to have any further issues, because again, we're thinking of some of the things that cause people to either stay stuck in a stuck place and not make any changes. Because sometimes when you tell somebody you're too fat, or you know, what do you think happened? Sometimes they go eat more food because they get depressed, or you know, you put a lot of extra weight. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that when you call someone a name, let me hear your feedback. And as you guys are coming in, remember, you have to let me know where you're coming in from. I'm in the Bronx in New York. Let me know where you guys are coming in from, all right? So yeah, do you think that this is playing a role in how people react? You know, have you ever called someone a name? Have you ever been called a name? I just expressed it here to you guys that people used to call me Maga, right? And I didn't like it, but you know, whatever. I don't know how it really affected me. Did it really affect me? I don't know. Have you ever been called names, and has it affected you? So here are some of the names that people call that are they might think it's correct, but it's not, right? So chunky, have you heard that one? Chunky, or plump, or fluffy, right? Even this one, wagga wagga. Have you ever heard that? That's like bigger. You ever hear about bigger, right? And a lot of times maybe that's more used with guys. Guys might be like wagga and bigger, right? And that's if the guy is big, right? Or rarely hear that with women. And you have plus size, which is somewhat more, I would say, a little bit more correct. And then round, I mean, just round, you know. And then big bone. I hear this one a lot. So guys, everybody's bone is the same, right? It's all skeletons, all bones, it's the same, right? So big bone, it's cute to say it, but it's sort of, it's not. Let me just say, it don't make no sense. All right. So that's not really a realistic one. All right. And then when we go to the thin person now, you have Maga. And then the worst one I ever heard was Kukumkum. They even made a song about that one. Right. Not very nice, guys. All right. So you have to think about that. And those are not the proper terminology. Right. That's not the proper terminology. Big up to Solomon Stevens, who's here from London. Big up, my brother. Good to see you, sir. Big up yourself. And to everybody else who's coming on. So yeah, so when you think about these words that we're using to describe ourselves and we're using to describe others, these are some of the barriers, right? Which is one of the things I really want to focus on this evening. And we're not going to be here long. We have just a few more minutes that I'm going to be chatting, and then I'm going to be sharing with you guys a simple recipe that you can use, all right? But I wanted us to talk about the barriers. I'm going to give you some quick tips. Next week when we come back, I'm going to dive deeper into all of these tips. So this evening is like a warm-up. I want you guys to start thinking about what is going on in your own situation, okay? Because that's really the thing here. You have to start thinking about your own situation. This weekend on Leo's show, we were talking about the why. Why do you want to lose weight? Do you want to lose weight, right? And with that being said, I want to speak about getting away from dieting. Getting away from these fad diets, because there's so many fad diets. There's keto. There's one that comes out every month, right? And at the end of the day, I don't even know why people keep doing these different diets. You don't want to be on a diet. For those folks who say that they are, I appreciate you saying that, and that's great. But I think being on a diet is the wrong way to do this thing. What you being on a diet makes it hard for you to sort of to stick with, and it puts a lot of pressure on you, and we want to take the pressure off, okay? And that's why I want to share with you these barriers, because that's a barrier. Putting yourself on this restricted diet, we can't eat this, we can't eat that. You don't want to be on that type of diet, right? You want to be on something where you're comfortable, you can enjoy, and it's sustainable, lasts long time, right? So you can keep this going, understand? So that's what I want you guys to start getting your mind ready for, okay? So you're not going to be setting yourself up for failure, because that's what happens with a lot of people who go on diet. You set yourself up for failure, and then next thing you know, you fall off, and then you beat yourself up, right? A lot of it happens up here. So you got to get away from dieting, get away from all of that. Another quick thing I want to mention is we have to keep our eyes on the young ones, right? So obesity is something that's, and being overweight is something that affects the young ones, the young generation, the children. Even recently they had to change adults. They used to call diabetes adult onset diabetes, right? Because it was happening to people above 40. If you notice now, they don't really call it that anymore. They switch it to type 2 diabetes, specifically because so many children are coming up. 45% of the children who are testing and having diabetes used to be type 1, but now it's mostly type 2, which is diet related, right? And that's one of the big problems that we struggle with in Jamaica, right? Most people will struggle, like I spoke about it the first week, I think, when I came on the show. I told you guys, my family, that was the biggest problem with us. It was the diabetes problem, the sugar, all right? So I want us to keep our minds focused on the fact that if you have a problem with your weight, chances are there will be a problem with, you'll end up more than likely having some type of diabetes or heart disease or hypertension. So your weight is what's playing a role in all of these chronic diseases. And I don't want to be the dead horse. For those of you who've been coming on every week, you've been hearing me talking about this. So, but those of you who are new, I wanted to mention that for those of you who come on tonight for the first time, just remember that, right? So the reason why we're focusing on weight and weight loss is because if you are able to manage your weight, you're able to, in essence, eliminate those diseases and those chronic illnesses that really plague our community. All right, and I'm going to mention that the systemic racism is a factor in that too. And I did mention that in one of the weeks. I don't want to go too much in it, but remember, guys, where you live, the environment, your income plays a role in your health as well. But that's a whole nother topic for another time, so I'm not going to get too much into that. All right, so let's talk about the barriers, right? The barriers to you losing the weight, because if you can identify the barriers, and I'm going to give you guys homework. All right, when I work with clients, that's what I do. I give them homework. All right, so if we do something after we come off this call tonight, tomorrow, whatever, you guys get up and you start thinking about this thing on a serious level. All right. So yeah, so one of the things I want you guys to think about, what are the barriers? So right now, if you have if you want to write it in your phone or write it down someplace, I want you to write down, what are some of the things that get in the way of you losing the weight? Is it a family member? Because we like to blame people, right? Is it like, you know, I want to lose weight, but him don't want to lose weight, or she want to lose weight, and him don't want, you know, vice versa. Like, what is the thing that every time you say you want to go on a diet, what happened? What stopped you? What is the one thing that stopped you? All right? Is it that you messed up and then you just turned back altogether and said, "Me not do this no more"? What is the one thing that you can say? And that's one of the things I want you to work on between now and next Monday when we come back. I want you guys to come with that one thing to tell me what it is so that I can help you with that one thing. But I'm going to address and give you some tips this evening. 5 tips, going to be quick. One of the things I want, discipline and commitment. That's definitely true, Michelle. That's definitely true. I said it to somebody the other day. I said, because the person was asking me, like, why can't we train Jamaicans? Why we can't make changes? We don't discipline. A lot of us, for a lot of people, let me not just say Jamaican, a lot of people, we just lack discipline. And it's very hard. And I understand completely. It's such a challenge, you know, to stop eating the foods we grew on. Another thing we discussed this weekend was culture. This is our culture. Our food tastes good. Oxtail tastes good. All these different foods that we make taste so good. So it's very hard for us to just say, you know what, I'm not eat this no more. Let me change my diet. Understand? It's very, very difficult. And so I empathize with everybody. I get it. You understand? I know what it's like. I was raised on a farm, like I said, so I was cooking all of that good stuff. You understand? So, but you have to identify the reason, right? Yam and cocoa, yes, the ground food business, right? Them things there, them things that taste good. But the starch is bad for us, right? Remember that. It's too much of it is causing some of the issues with the diabetes and things like that. All right. So, but I want for you all to think about, and if you have more than one barrier or more than one thing that's stopping you, write them down, because the sooner you know what they are, the sooner you can address them. All right. And then the other thing I want you to do, the next piece of the homework is I want you to decide what stage of change, are you ready for change, right? So right now in the world, there's a lot of changes going on. We see some uprising, we see some radical things happening. People are just standing up, doing some really powerful things. And I think this is like a time for us to change. Anything that we have going on in our life that we don't like or that we're not happy with, this is like the best time to just make it happen. Understand? So this is a time for you to think, am I ready for a change? Because if you're not ready for it, let me just tell you something. If you're not ready for a change, don't bother fooling yourself. You're gonna mess yourself up. You understand? So it starts up here. Having good weight loss starts right up here. It's like maybe a month or even 2 months of thinking about it, talking. It's like a pre-contemplative stage, they call it, where you're thinking about it. You're wondering, is this something I want to do? Right? And again, when I'm talking about weight loss, a lot of what I'll suggest is plants and stuff like that. But not everybody have to go all plants. And that's something I push because I'm a plant-based nutritionist. But you don't have to do all plants. You could do a predominant amount of plants, smaller piece of meat, right? Smaller piece of animal protein if you must. And so that's some of the stuff we'll talk about next week. We'll get more into the foods next week. But this week I kind of want to get to the mindset this week. Okay, so I want to attack the mindset stage part this week. So yeah, so stages of change, right? And that's a psychology thing. What stage are you at? I want you to get to the stage where you are ready for action time, right? Where you're ready for do the thing, and you really need to make sure, right, that you're ready to take some action. Because if you're not ready to take action, then honestly, it's gonna be hard for you to do anything. So think about the stage that you're at. Are you at the beginning where you're thinking about it? Are you at the next phase where you're starting to tell people? Because when you start telling people, you're like preparing them, especially people that live in your same house. You're like, listen, when we go grocery shopping next week, me not buying none of this, me not buying none of that. Or you don't do it in that way. Rather, you would have a conversation, a proper conversation with those people who you live with, and you let them know, hey, this is what I'm thinking of doing, because that's some of the problems. All right, so now I'm going to give you the 5 things real quick, because we do have to prepare something this evening. I said 30 minutes. We're probably going to end up going to 45, but I'm hoping to knock this out quick. Let's get these 5 things out of the way so you guys know. So calorie awareness is the first thing. So let me go back. Remember, guys, the homework that I gave you. You're identifying the barrier or barriers, more than one, issues that you have that has been stopping you from losing the weight. All right, that's one. And then the other thing is you have to decide what stage you are at for change, and make sure you write it down. Okay, give yourself opportunity to write it down. Okay, so don't just think about it. Put it in your phone, write it someplace. Okay, so that you can get that. You can really come back to me next week with something. All right. So 5 things I'm going to talk about. Number 1, calorie awareness. Be aware of how many calories you're eating. Okay, because if you're not aware of how much calories you're eating, you're going to obviously overeat. Be aware of, so for women, majority of us, it's about 2,000 calories a day. But if you're an active person, like if you run all the time or you're working out and stuff like that, you're going to burn a lot more. So you may need to eat a little bit more. All right, so but be aware of how much calories you're taking in versus how much calories you're burning. Okay, so that's number 1 way for you to lose weight, is to focus on your calories, and especially if you're eating processed foods, right? Remember we were talking about labels. I don't have any here right now, but the label reading, make sure you're reading your labels. Okay, so that's one way to help you with understanding the calories you're taking in. All right, simplify the exercise that you're doing. That's number 2. Okay, so when I say simplify the exercise, what do I mean by that? So in Jamaica, when we used to grow up, we used to do yard work. We used to go around and do things, and we weren't just, let me give you an example. When they invented the vacuum cleaner, when they invented the dishwasher, when they invented the washing machine, because me used to wash plate with, I still wash plate with my hand. I used to wash clothes with my hand, right? So that's action. You're washing. I'm not saying to go back to that. I'm just saying, back then, it was a lot easier for us to lose weight too, because we were more active. Think about your life now. You get up, some people, they go straight to the car. And they drive to work, park in the parking lot, get right into the job, right? Sit down. A lot of people, if you have a sit-down job, you're there all day. Maybe you get up 3 or 4 times. That's it. Then you go back to your car, drive home, come back to your house, sit down because you're tired. You understand? So you have to think of, how can I get something into my lifestyle that's going to help me to move more? Okay, but make it simple for yourself. Don't make it hard. Go for a walk. Call your friend. My mom, she's in her 70s. She called her little friend and they go for a walk, right? They walk, they talk, understand? And by the time you look around, she says she do a mile or 2 miles, right? Right now the gyms are closed. So you have to become inventive. You have to create, things at home. So whether you want to put down, lay down on your carpet or your hardwood floors, whatever it is, bring some water bottles and lift, you understand? If you want to tone your arms and stuff like that, whatever you need to do, just get moving. Okay, get moving. All right, so simplify your exercise. Do things that's easy for you, that you enjoy. Just get moving. And if you can move for about 45 minutes every day, 5 days a week, I'm going to say, and you could take off the weekend, right? That's going to help you a lot. Yeah, the body was made to move, Marsha said just now. And Yvonne says she walk every day. That's very good. Is anybody else doing any type of exercise? Let me know if you guys are doing anything unusual. Share it right here so other people can see it, right? And remember, share this post also on your page, because I would love for you to be able to reference it, but also for other people to have these tips, right? So I gave you 2 calories. Watch your calories, how much you're taking in and putting out. Simplify your exercises, right? So do things that are easy for you, that works for you, but try to stay consistent. Be patient with yourself, guys. All right? Do not expect to do Zumba. That's great. I just saw that. Do not expect to start today and tomorrow you have results. It's not going to happen. Be patient. Take your time. Okay, Michelle says that she used resistant bands. Those are very good. I have some of those too. Gardening, Pamela, thank you so much for sharing that. A very, very good one. Detox. I mean, that's not an exercise, but okay, that works. And Pauline Grant, walking, very good. And bike, yes, bike riding is good. Yoga is good. Tamika, very good. Those are all really good. Julia said that she walked 3.5 miles every other day in her subdivision, and she feels much better. Yeah, because remember, exercise is going to help to get the good hormones going, right? That's going to help you to feel better, and it's going to be really, really good for the body. And 10,000 steps per day, Yvonne says. Yeah, so if you get one of these, like I have one of these funky watches, these cool looking watches, and Fitbit, whatever you have, and you track your steps, that's another good way to do it. This is a Garmin one, but you could get any one you want. It's good, right? I walk, talk part in YouTube, learn at home exercises. Okay, Nathaniel, yeah, YouTube, yes, use that as a reference to do at home. Thank you, Natalie, for that. Use the YouTube videos and use that to do. But let's get back to the list that we have, because we don't want to be here too long. Because I know you guys have to eat, because remember, you don't want to eat too late, right? You don't want to eat too late, because that's a part of the whole weight loss thing that we're talking about tonight. If you eat too late, that's also a problem, right? So we want to get off early so we can get our dinner in, for those of you who didn't already eat. All right, so number 3, I mentioned patience. Take your time with yourself. Don't rush this thing, okay? Rome wasn't built in a day, and you didn't gain the weight in one day. So you take your time, do what you have to do, consistent and steady, okay? Consistent and steady. As long as you're sticking to it, eventually you're gonna get there. And when it comes to the patience thing too, it's nice if you can get an accountability partner, someone that can, you know, check with you and also help you to kind of stay on track. That's just an extra tip. All right, so get an accountability partner, but that's an extra one, like I said. Educate yourself, study, learn. So what you're doing right now by coming here and listening to me and logging on to these nutrition education classes that I've been doing on Jamaicans.com is so important, because the more you learn, the better it's going to be for you to understand what's really going on with yourself, with your body, right? Someone said intermittent fasting. Yeah, that's one that I'm not going to recommend anybody to do intermittent fasting, because you have to do that specifically with your doctor. If you're able to do that, that's also good. That is proven to help a lot of people, intermittent fasting. Yes, so educate yourself, learn different things. But the only thing I'll say with that, and the challenge with that, is they do a lot of confusing. There's so much confusion going on out there right now that people are so confused. And I want to give you guys some resources before I move on. I want to give you guys some resources so you can understand that you need to have the proper people to listen to. You don't want to be listening to people who are not familiar, right, with there are people who are familiar with nutrition, but there are some people who are just not familiar. We talked about it the other day. Doctors don't get a lot of nutrition education. Remember that. Okay, they get about 8 hours to 20 hours. Pretty much all doctors, between 8 hours and 20 hours of nutrition education. So when they're speaking to you, a lot of times, some of them will recommend, changing your diet and stuff, but a lot of them just won't, because again, remember, they're thinking about medication. They're thinking about, they were taught to push pills. They weren't taught to teach you, to tell you to eat healthy. A lot of them. All right, so keep that in mind, guys. But remember, educate yourself. Get the right people to get your education knowledge from. All right, and the last one that I'm going to share with you before I give you some resources is surround yourself. So at home or at work, wherever you are, in your car, make sure you're surrounding yourself with not just the right people, but the right food, right? So the people who you're around that can encourage you, once you let them know that you're doing this thing, tell them, help me, keep me accountable, right? And people will do that, especially if you say, don't let me off the hook. You know, like checking on me once a week or twice a week. You let them know how often you want them to check on you. So your environment plays a role in whether or not you're going to be successful. Okay, so you need to make sure that your environment is good. So what I personally do, I'll give you one of my things that I do. If I'm going on a long trip or something like that, or I'm running errands on a Saturday or something, I bring my water, I have a bag of nuts, I bring an apple, maybe two, to make sure that I'm not on a diet. Those are the things I eat, okay? Those are the things I eat. So that's not a diet, I'm telling you. I'm just telling you the things that I love, that I eat. I bring them, they're healthy. So I make sure my environment in my car when I'm driving, that I have good options. Otherwise, you're going to pull off the road and get something that you really don't want to eat. So keep the things that you have, right, that you have in your house when you go grocery shopping. That's where it starts, okay? Hey, Anthony, Lorna, thank you guys for coming on. Yes, so those are the things, some of the things you want to do. When you go to the grocery store, that's where it starts. When you're making your list, try to put the things on there that's going to be healthy, because whatever's in your house, whatever's in your fridge, whatever's in your cupboard, that's what you're going to eat. When you're dead hungry, you're going to eat whatever is there. So when I'm hungry, if I go to the fridge and I don't have any of these chips or anything, I'm going to have some carrots, or I'm going to have some celery or whatever, you know. But surround yourself with good, healthy food, and wherever you are, make sure you have good, healthy options, all right, with you. All right, so 2 resources. So that's it, guys. I just gave you the 5 weight loss tips that I wanted to give you. We're gonna go a little bit deeper next week into some more things that have to do with weight loss. But again, if you're just coming on, calorie awareness, be aware of how much calories you're taking in. Simplify your exercise. Do something you enjoy. Be patient with yourself. It's gonna take time. Educate yourself, okay? And make sure that you're able to learn, and then surround yourself with the right foods and also the right people. All right, so I'm gonna go over something real quick. Remember, you write those down, share this on your page, share it with others, and if you don't know, my company that I founded is My Temple Wellness. You can also follow me there, because I share a lot of tips there as well. Okay, so what I want to do right now, I had told you guys about the BMI, which is a body mass index. It's basically saying, Althea says she keep almonds at her desk. Very good, that's nice. Walnuts are healthy. It's a healthy fat, good for the brain. So let's get back. So BMI, right? I like to talk to you guys, but I want to get the information out to you also, so forgive me if I'm not addressing everything. So when it comes to your weight, one of the things that you have to think about, right, is your circumference, right? So how your waistline, that's one of the, where this area right here, the belly, if you can see me, this is the belly area where we carry a lot of our fat. And that's actually the most unhealthiest place for you to have your fat, okay? Because clearly in here you have a lot of your organs, right? So you want to be working on your weight, especially if you're having weight on your belly area, okay? All right, guys. So when I mentioned the BMI before, body mass index, it's your weight in comparison to your height, okay? So I'm gonna call out some ranges right now. I want you to listen for your height. I want you to listen for the range, the ideal weight range that you should be in. Now, I'm going to start with the most standard height. I can't go through all of them, but I'm going to give this, I'm going to start at 5'2". If anybody here is less than that, let me know. I'll go back and I'll try to see if I can catch it. I'll put it up. I'll put this up. So I'll share this on my page, on My Temple Wellness. You guys go there. I'm going to share this on my page, but let me give it to you right now for those of you who want to get it right now, okay? So for anybody who's 5'2", your ideal weight should be, based on that BMI thing I just mentioned, should be between 109 and 120. Okay, obviously if you're 1 above or 2 above, 1 below, it's probably okay, right? But this is the healthy range for someone who's 5'2", between 109 and 120, okay? For someone who's 5'3", 113 to 124. And I'm gonna go quickly now. 5'4", 117 to 128. 5'5", 120 to 132. 5'6", okay, Pauline, I see you. 4'11", I'll address that. For 5'5", 120 to 132. That's the range. For 5'6", 124 to 136. Okay, 5'6", it's a typical, I think I'm about 5'6", 5'7". 124 to 136. That's about where you should be, okay? 5'7", I'm going to keep going. Let me go back to 4'11" while I'm here for Pauline, because I just saw that. You should be between 99 and 109, okay? That's the ideal weight, okay, based on the BMI. We could talk about it more if you have muscle mass, maybe a little bit different, okay? 5'7", 128 to 140. If you're 5'8", 132 to 145. For 5'9", if you're 5'9", 135 to 149, okay? If you're 5'10", 139 to 153. If you're just coming on, I'm giving ideal weight ranges based on height, okay? For 7, from 143 to 158. For height, for 6 feet, if you're 6 feet tall, ideal weight, I'm going to stop at 6'4", guys, just so you know. If you want more than that, let me know, okay? For 6 feet, ideal weight 147 to 162. So as you're writing these down, if you're writing it down for yourself or your partner, your husband, your wife, or whatever, friend, cousin, family member, that's good too. And that's why I'm saying share this video, because other people who fall in any of these other ranges, your friends and such, can get that. So Michelle, yeah, I see you. That's correct. 5'7", 128 to 140. Yes, that's correct, Michelle. So let me just repeat. 5'7" is from 128 to 140. All right. So 5'6", I think I said already, but it's 147 to 162. Okay. If you're 6'1", it's 152 to 167. If you're 6, did I say 6'1"? I don't remember. Let me do 6'1". I did. Okay. 6'2", 156 to 171. Okay. 6'3", 160 to 176. And the final one here for this evening, 6'4". If you're 6'4" in height, you should be between 164 and 181. All right, guys. So this is a table. It's a table that I got from a book that I've been reading that I'm going to recommend to you guys as well. So 2 other things I want to recommend. Angela, that's okay. I see you. That's okay. We're gonna find a way to get that down, right? So yeah, so that's the BMI. Remember, you can always get this information if you go on Google. You just type in calculate my BMI or just BMI, and then they'll give you a calculator. Basically, you put your height in there, you put your weight in there. It's going to tell you the weight that you should, your exact weight that you should be. Okay. I'm sorry. It's going to tell you it's going to tell you the weight that you should be. Okay. And I just gave the ranges. So share this on your page so you can go back and listen to it again, or email me. I'm going to share this on my page as well so you guys can see it. So you want to be able to stay within that range if you can. It would be healthy, most healthy for you. If you have muscle, if you have a lot of muscle, then it's going to be a little bit different for you. And then the other resource that I want to give to folks, and we're already over our time. I knew this was going to be a long conversation because it's weight loss. What I want for you guys to do, for those of you who are considering trying a new diet, if you're, take that word out, diet. If you're thinking about eating more plant-based foods, let's put it like that, being more whole food plant-based, there is an app that I will encourage you to download on your phone. It's free. I am not promoting these people. They didn't pay me to say this. I'm telling you because it's a great resource, and I love to give free stuff, free information. So if you go to 21 Day, it's called 21 Day Kickstart, and I'm going to share it again to make sure I give you the right one. 21 Day, yes, 21 Day Vegan Kickstart. Ignore the word vegan, because all they're doing is giving you some great veggie options, right? They're giving you great recipes. They're going to give you some nutrition education, and it keeps you sort of like on track every day. So if you're looking for some type of app to kind of keep you accountable, it's a great option. Like I said, it's free, and it's done by physicians, the Physicians Committee. And the Physicians Committee is a bunch of doctors who were trained to be medical doctors, but they have discovered how important nutrition is. And so they came up with this this app, and now it's available for anyone. I recommend it to people all the time. 21-day vegan kickstart app. Yes, thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. For those of you who want to go check that out, check it out. I already did it. I downloaded it on my phone. It's great. I've been trying it just to try it out so I could be able to tell you guys. It's wonderful. All right. So I hope that this was helpful. We're going to continue next week. I'm going to make a meal real quick with you guys. Going to be very simple. So what I have, I'm trying to share with you this evening, and looks like we're going to just end up finishing it up in the next 10 to 15 minutes. Repeat the name of the app, please. Yes, so it's the 21-day vegan kickstart app. And again, please follow my Temple Wellness on Facebook and Instagram. I have a website as well, so if you want to get more information on that website, you can email me directly and I will help you with that. And next week, oh yes, thank you, Anthony. Next week we're going back to 6 o'clock. So the only reason we came on late this evening was because the Jamaican diaspora was doing an amazing discussion. It was so wonderful. If you didn't see it, go check it out, for several hours. And so they went over into the 6 o'clock hour, and so we just switched the time around to be sure that you know, we were able to come out here. Yes, I do have counseling. Go to my website if you're looking for counseling. If you're looking for someone to work with you, I do that as well. So please email me and I'll be happy to talk with you. I have different plans that I can share with you on that. So just email me. I'll be happy to provide that information to you. So again, share this on your pages. Send it to everyone. We're going to make a sandwich. The goal was to do a healthy fast food option, right, for you guys this evening. And so what I have here, so you guys don't know already, say my meat, because I don't eat chicken and fish and all of that. I use a lot of mushrooms when I cook. So these are my king mushrooms that I'm always using. This is another mushroom here, maitake mushroom, that I use. And I had them out because what happened when you have your mushroom, you can put it by your windowsill. Little secret for you guys, right? Put it by your windowsill and make it get some more extra vitamin D. Yes, this is the only food that has vitamin D in it. It absorbs the vitamin D from the sun. All right, so it comes with vitamin D, but you can get like an extra. So that's what I do. I take it out of the bag and I put it by my window. It collected some more sun, and now I'm going to use it to make a nice sandwich. A lot of you saw the one I made on my page on my Temple Wellness, and everybody's been commenting on this pizza that I did with the mushroom, and it looks so good with the barbecue sauce and all of that. So I'm going to show you guys a basic sandwich that I'm going to do. So let's come over, and I'm going to show a salad option too. For those of you who are thinking about, you don't want to make a sandwich, it's totally fine. You can do that. So I'm going to turn my stove on real quick. So let me put some oil, small amount of oil. So this is the oil I'm going to be using this evening. I'm using this, can you see it? I hope you can. Sesame oil. Okay. And I'm going to put a little bit of that in my pan as I get started. Let me wash my hands real quick. I hope you guys enjoyed this session this evening. We're going to continue this conversation because I realize that weight loss, it's one of the most challenging things for folks. And so, yeah, you can use any mushrooms, Pamela, any mushrooms that you like, all right? My website is mytemplewellness.com, all right? So you can go check it out. All right, so come on over. Let me show you what I have here this evening. All right, so in the late hours, we're going to cook. So, guys, weight loss tip, don't eat this late, all right? Make sure you eat before 7 or 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock the latest. All right, so this is a mushroom that I have with us this evening. So this is the king mushroom. I already went and I seasoned it up with a little bit of salt. I put some onion powder on it also. And it's just enough for like 2 burgers, or even just few pieces for the burger and a few for the salad. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to put them in the pan. All right, so we're going to go over real quick and throw this in our pan. And we're going to grill them, basically. I'm just going to put all of them in there and then move them around. Just turn that up just a little bit. Okay. I like using this thing because it just makes everything that much easier. So the pan wasn't as hot as I would have liked it to be. Matter of fact, let me put just a smidgen of olive oil. Oops. And I'm going to move that around in the pan. think it was too high at first. All right. So they need to cook a little bit more. We need them to get brown, okay? It's just not the right amount of oil. Was the stove? The stove wasn't on before, right? I don't know what it is. All right, put a little bit of, so a little bit more sesame oil in here. All right, so let's leave those. Let they go and cook. They don't need to cook for that long, okay? Because you can even eat mushrooms raw if you like, but I generally cook them. All right, so let's leave that on. All right, so let's come back over. Okay, guys. So normally when I'm getting my bread, right? I try to get, remember I told you guys, you want to get whole grain. Okay, so you want to get whole grain bread. You don't want to get any white bread. You try to avoid the white bread because white bread is not the good option for you. Okay, so and remember when we were talking about the ingredients label, the first one should be whole grain, not whole wheat, whole grain. All right, so this is the bread that I use if I'm gonna do, let's say, a hamburger. Okay, and as you can see, it's high in protein, doesn't have any high fructose corn syrup, which we want to avoid. All right, so get a good bread. All right, that's one of the first things you want to do. And this is basically the bread that I use, okay? And so that's that. But before that, let me show you guys how to make a simple salad dressing, a homemade dressing that I usually do. And I do that because these dressings, one of the way that you want to lose weight is you don't want to eat too much of these processed dressings and things like that. So first, what I'm going to put in my dressing, I'm going to use some garlic, okay? So let's come down just a little bit here. So I'm going to use some garlic. My hands are clean, so fresh garlic. And I have minced onions. That's red onions. Okay. I'm also going to put some salt. Some black pepper. And I'm going to be putting on, let's do this one first, some balsamic vinegar. Okay, so I'm going to put a tablespoon of that. Okay, hopefully you guys can see. And then I'm going to whisk in some olive oil. So this is my dressing that I'm using. Okay, so I'm just going to whisk in just a little bit of olive oil. All right, that's about a tablespoon. And then guys, what I do, because I don't like to use a lot of oil, and you shouldn't use a lot of oil either. So this is basically the dressing. What I do, I put a bit of water in it, okay? So let me just grab some water. Alright, so now we're just going to put a small bit of water in here. Okay, and so that's my salad dressing. So it's salt, pepper, olive oil, some vinegar, balsamic vinegar, onion, and garlic. Okay, and all of that stuff is super healthy for you. We're gonna dress, this is our salad. So with the mushroom, we're gonna do, for the folks in your house that don't want the burger, right? We're gonna do a salad for them, and that's why we created this dressing here. All right, so let me go ahead. So that's good, nothing else to be done with that. All right, so earlier, a couple of days ago, I made this dressing, and if you guys want to know what's in here, let me know. I'll share it with you. A couple of my friends already have this dressing, and they love it. All right, so it's a little spicy. It has cilantro in there, but if you want the ingredients, let me know. I'll do a quick video. All right, So hi Ian. Is she cooking? I just joined. Yes, I'm cooking. I must have walked away at that time. I'm gonna say hi to some people. So the mushroom is cooking right now. It's on the stove. So hi Sonia White. It's good to see you. Dwight. Oh, hello there, sir. It was good to hang with you on Saturday. We're in here cooking. Michelle, how much salt in the sesame oil? Let me check that for you right now and tell you. Okay, so the best thing with the sesame oil is zero milligrams. I hope you can see that. So the sodium content, hopefully you can see that. So Michelle wanted to know how much salt, and it's 0. So there is none. There is 2 grams of saturated fat, no protein, no carbs. So there is some fat in here, but no salt. All right, and so that's pretty good. In the meantime, what I'm gonna do, I roasted some potatoes. So what I wanted to share with you guys also is when it comes to the choice between potatoes, I very rarely buy these Idaho potatoes or white potatoes. These are the ones you want, okay? And let me just collect that real quick. So you want to use, okay, you want to use your sweet potato, okay, which is what this is. And this is the one that I like. This is the one that I prefer. This is the one that's healthiest for you, all right? So sweet potato is always better than the white potato, all right? So if you're looking for an option, choose this one. And so what we did today, what I did earlier right before the show, I roasted these, okay? So what I used just a little herbs, little salt, little pepper, and I put them in the oven. And that's really it, okay? And I just let them roast for about 45 minutes. So this is a healthy option. This is going to be going with your burger. Instead of the French fries, you're making your own fast food at home. So you're using your sweet potato. You're just putting them in the oven. Put a little bit of olive oil on it. Leave them in there. Walk away. You don't even have to, stand over no pot and watch it fry. You just put it in the oven. And that's a healthier way, right? And that's going to help you with your weight loss goals, okay? Which is what we're talking about this evening, okay? So choose the red potato over the white potato, all right? And now we're going to get the mushrooms. Thank God I have an assistant. He's back there. And we have our bread, okay? So you can toast your bread if you prefer, guys, all right? I'm not going to do that this evening. But what I am going to do, I'm going to go ahead and start putting on my famous dressing that I love. Spicy, is so good. It's absolutely delicious. Again, if you want the recipe, let me know. I'll make it for you guys and I'll share it with you. So we have our mushrooms. They've been grilled. Okay, so that's our grilled mushroom that we're gonna use for our salad, and they're gonna go on our burger as well. All right, so we're gonna put, instead of putting on mayonnaise, there is a little bit of mayo in this, not a lot. And the idea is to minimize the amount of processed stuff that you're having, right? So what I want to do now, I want to put a little bit of sauce on here. Again, this is a spicy sauce. It's made with a lot of, there's peppers in here. It's just delicious. So I can put a generous amount because you know why? I know what's in here. And it's nothing that's going to mess me up if I'm on a diet, which we don't do diets. if we're trying to eat healthy, right? All right, so you want to put that on both sides. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put my mushroom on one side. So these are the nice grilled mushrooms. Okay. Now remember, mushroom is great because it has a lot of vitamin D in it. So start getting used to trying mushrooms, guys. And remember, there's not just one type of mushroom out there. There's so many different types. Okay, and the rest of these are going to go on our salad, right? So for that person in your house, or if you are trying to lose some weight and you don't want to be messing with the bread, this would be your dinner. You could obviously put a lot more greens on there. You could put some tomato and all of that. But I just wanted to show you a simple salad that you can also do, okay? And some people, they'll eat the salad and also eat this, which is nothing wrong with that, right? Okay, because it's a salad. It's going to be fine. Now we're gonna put our onions on. So we have all these other ingredients that we're gonna throw on our sandwich here. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna wrap it up. So you put your onion on here. Okay, and then some of that same arugula. Actually, what I wanted to do was, and some tomato, of course. So you're getting all your greens, and you have that healthy whole grain bread underneath, okay? Whoopsie daisy. So you got all your veggies. Let's share with that plate. How about that? Make that plate look a bit better. All right, guys. So that is your sandwich. And what I always do, because this sauce is just so good, I always end up sprinkling just a little bit more of the sauce. And the sauce also can go on the potato. I'm gonna put it on the side just because not everybody like that. So this is basically the plate that we did this evening. All right, guys. So this is your king oyster mushroom burger. It's a fast food option for those people who are looking to switch their diet. Not diet, I don't like that word. Who are looking to have more of a plant-based option, right? And cut out some of the animal meat or animal protein. You want to use your mushroom. This mushroom have a really nice texture. Okay, so you're gonna get a good sort of like meat texture from that. Then we used sweet potatoes instead of the white potatoes, okay? And that was just, forgive the camera, sorry guys. And that was because sweet potatoes just ultimately a better option for the body, and we could get into detail. And then my secret sauce, which is over here, the green sauce. And again, if you want the recipe, let me know, let me make it for you, all right? I'll do a video and share it with you guys. And I'm going to try it real quick. And, oh, but before, for those other folks, you got the salad, all right? So hopefully you can see this is a nice, healthy salad option. For those of you who don't want to do the bread and you just want a nice salad, that's the salad option, all right? So, because you guys want me to try it, I think you want me to try it. I already know what it tastes like. I know it's gonna be good because I've made it so many times. The other thing you can do with the mushroom, guys, is you can put some barbecue sauce on it, which is what I tend to do sometimes too. So this one I just grilled it because we want to do a little bit healthy. So if you want to use chicken, grilled chicken, or grilled salmon, that's a good option, all right? A healthier option than even the red meat, all right? So I love sweet potatoes. I don't want to eat because then once I eat, I can't talk. So I'm not going to eat today because once I eat this thing, guys, I'm not able to talk anymore because I don't like to talk and eat. But it's very delicious. Don't take my word for it. Try it. I'm going to show you the herb that I use. This is the herb that I use on my potatoes. Okay? So it's almost finished. I got to get a new one. And Trader Joe's is where I got it. So I just throw that on my potatoes, little salt, and if you don't use salt, you don't even need it because the herb, the spices is so good. All right, so here's the sandwich. I'm gonna take a bite, and then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say goodnight to you guys. Don't eat this late. It's 9 o'clock. You shouldn't be eating. I shouldn't be eating. But I'm gonna see you guys. I'm gonna take a bite, and I'm gonna say goodnight. I'll see you guys. Share the video. Thank you for watching. More weight loss tips next week at 6 p.m. All right? We're going to be back here on Jamaicans.com. All right, so have a good night, guys. I'm going to take a bite of this thing. Bye, guys. This is why I didn't want to do this. Can't eat on camera. Good night. Go to your bed.